The American Bus Association presents Motorcoach Travel News. Here's Dan Ronan.
Hello and welcome to the 6th edition of the American Bus Association's Motorcoach Travel News. I'm Dan Ronan, and we're coming to you today from Athens, Georgia, and Grip Productions. Now our top story. The American Bus Association goes to Congress to promote motorcoach safety. The U.S. Senate passed a transportation bill that includes several changes, especially when it comes to safety. The ABA supports a House version of the bill, which is still being considered by lawmakers. The ABA's president and CEO, Peter Pantuso, testified before the House Energy and Commerce Committee.
ABA and its members believe there should be seatbelts on new motor coaches. Our public comments submitted to NHTSA on this regulation are very clear. The Senate bill also allows NHTSA to order retrofits of motor coaches that could force a complete re-engineering of the vehicle and force many small businesses out of business. Operators can comply with requirements of attaching readily available equipment, but operators are very small business people. And much like you or I, they can no more be expected to remanufacture a coach than we could re-engineer the vehicle that we purchase.
ABA President and CEO Peter Pantuso joins us. Pete, there's been some movement with a 90-day extension. Now, the ABA, in terms of a transportation bill, has been supporting the House bill as compared to the Senate bill. Tell me why.
There's been a lot of activity with transportation in both the House and the Senate. And as you said, we testified before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. They were looking at the differences between safety provisions between the House bill and the Senate bill. We know that there are safety provisions in both bills. We think both bills have the same end goal, but the House bill is just a better way to get there. It uses common sense, uses engineering, and it uses science as its basis to get to good practices and develop better standards for safety in the motor coach industry.
So this 90-day extension then gives some time then to continue try to wrestling the differences between the House and Senate.
Well, the House and Senate have both been working toward the same goal in a big transportation bill and reauthorization, something they do about every 6 or 7 years. Problem has been, well, the Senate's passed their bill, the House hasn't yet. Everybody's trying to figure out where the dollars are coming from, and everyone's looking for votes right now to get a House bill through Congress. Then they'll go to the conference committee.
Let's switch gears just a little bit because we know that marketplace registration is now started April 4th. A lot of excitement, a lot of activity.
Yeah, Marketplace started registering delegates about 2 weeks ago, and we've had hundreds and hundreds of people register so far. I've never seen such an influx of registration in the more than 15 years I've been at the association. Marketplace is really the show to go to. People are making a decision. Everybody can't go to both ABA and some of the other shows that exist in 2013, but right now it looks like people are making a decision, and they're making the decision to come to Marketplace.
We were in Charlotte together a couple of weeks ago and had a chance to tour the downtown, saw the venue, and see a lot of things there. It appears to be a town that has had tremendous growth in the last 4 or 5 years, especially in the downtown area with the new NASCAR Hall of Fame and the basketball arena, hotels, restaurants, a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's a great city. You know, we had a Marketplace there just a few years ago, and for some individuals who think they're coming back to the same city, I can tell you they're not. It's like a brand new city. The places you mentioned, they've also got a brand new entertainment district that's been created that didn't exist when we had our last Marketplace. They've got a new arts and cultural area. The symphony plays there. There's so much going on, so many restaurants that have popped up in Charlotte. I think just inside the Beltway downtown area, which is relatively small when you think about it compared to a New York or Washington, D.C., but they've got about 170 restaurants just in that downtown area. So they've got something for everybody, and the people could not be friendlier or more excited about having Marketplace come back.
And ABA, building off of Grapevine, has a lot of really interesting things that are in the works.
Well, yeah, we had, as you well know, and the viewers will know, just a fabulous Marketplace at Grapevine. Grapevine, Texas did an outstanding job. But I can guarantee you we're going to do it one better in Charlotte. Charlotte's going to be the best Marketplace we've ever had.
ABA President and CEO Peter Pantuso joining us on this edition of Motorcoach Travel News. MTN continues in just a moment, right after this break. MTN coming to you from Athens, Georgia, and it's springtime. The weather's getting warmer, and in Washington, D.C., that means it's Cherry Blossom Festival time. And in the ABA's top 100 events for motor coaches, the festival is number one. This is the 100th anniversary of the festival. In 1912, the mayor of Tokyo gave 3,020 trees to Washington, D.C. as a gesture of friendship.
So what this festival this year will tell the story is how this first gift of trees has now become the nation's greatest springtime celebration.
Cherry blossom trees usually last about 50 years, but organizers say some of the original trees, about 100 of them, continue to bloom. More than 1 million people will come to Washington for the festival, and hundreds of motor coaches are taking thousands of people each day into Washington to see the trees. The festival's economic impact is estimated at $126 million.
We really depend on these motor coaches to come to the city of Washington all year round. And spring, of course, is the big time of the year.
If the weather cooperates, the cherry blossoms should be in bloom for another couple of weeks. As the weather improves and people begin thinking about vacations in the coming months, millions of folks will be getting on motor coaches. And we at the ABA want to make sure that whether it's scheduled line service, charter, or tours, it's the safest bus possible. Before these high school students got on a motor coach for a week-long mission trip to Chicago, the staff at Prestonwood Baptist Church outside of Dallas did a lot of research about the motor coach company.
Chicago is one of the areas we've been consistently over the last 5 years.
To pick a safe motor coach company, church leaders used common sense, did their homework, and followed the ABA's guidelines.
We're going to look at established companies first, you know, those that have great records in the past and heading into the future. We look at the age of the motor coaches that they provide us. Are they current or not? Are they older vehicles, older? The other thing we look at is their safety records, you know, and their safety ratings to see where they stack up.
And on this trip, Prestonwood is doing business with Gotta Go Express Trailways, an ABA member from Fort Worth, and its owner-operator attends church there. The ABA has publications and a PowerPoint to explain how to find a good motor coach operator. Call the bus company. You're the customer. Insist the company comply with the rules and regulations or take your business elsewhere. View the company's safer scores on the FMCSA website. Ask to see the vehicle inspection documents for the motor coaches you're using. Hold a pre-trip safety briefing. Ask to see the company's MCS 90 insurance documents. Ask if they're associated with ABA. We review our membership ranks every 90 days, and companies with unsatisfactory scores are removed as members. If the trip is long and may be close to the driver's hours of service rules, insist on a relief driver. The distance from Plano, Texas to Chicago is 951 miles, about 18 hours on the road. 2 drivers will make the trip.
For me, it's the driver and the destination, along with the equipment. That's the most important thing, making sure I've got the right bus going out of town with the driver that knows the market that they're going to.
The ABA and FMCSA are taking comments on a proposed change in the way motor coach safety scores are evaluated and scored. FMCSA says companies can preview the changes to see how the improvements would impact their individual SMS scores. And the changes are intended to more effectively identify and prioritize high-risk and unsafe carriers for enforcement interventions. Comments must be received before May 29th. There's more information on our website at buses.org or contact the ABA's Norm Littler at nlittler@buses.org. From the University of Georgia campus in Athens, Georgia, Motorcoach Travel News, MTN, continues in just a moment.
Crazy Dave here. While I may be crazy most of the time, here at Mobile View we are serious about safety. While driver cell phone usage and texting is a rising problem, it is not here at DC Trails. With our real-time driver surveillance, drivers' habits can be remotely monitored to assure safe driving.
Here at DC Trails, Mobile View ensures that safe driving is recorded and rewarded.
Be safe, be secure, be in view. Mobile View.
Now an update from Branson, Missouri. The region is recovering from the recent tornadoes earlier this year at a very brisk pace. That part of Missouri annually has about 8 million visitors. It's the third best destination for group travel. With that success in mind, Branson officials say they're always looking to improve the many established attractions and develop new ones.
We know that once we get people to Branson, they're going to come back 80% of the time, so we have a very high repeat rate. But our challenge is we're getting that first-time visitor there. Branson has a lot going for it. One of the downsides is that if you've never been there before, you have perhaps a misconception or misperception about what Branson is all about. People don't understand the diversity that we have there. We got beautiful lakes and golf courses. We have lots of outdoor activities. Plus, we have the great live entertainment that we are particularly known for.
Summers says a few years ago the perception was that Branson was just about country music and senior citizens. The region's tourism officials are expanding their base. April marks the 100th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. The museum is expected to be very busy. Branson has many established stars and venues, and the region has a wholesome, G-rated reputation, so it's building on that. And in the last several years, leaders say they found another way to market the region, using tourism as an attraction to bring together old and new families.
We're a big reunion location. We get family reunions, we get military reunions, we get high school and college reunions. Any kind of reunion you can think of, we've become that destination.
Summers says his staff now has 2 people specifically designated to reunion planning. And that's our broadcast today, coming to you from Athens, Georgia. I'm Dan Ronan for the American Bus Association. As always, if you have story suggestions, drop me an email at dronan@buses.org. Thanks for watching MTN, and we'll see you here back next month.